everyone. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. This is going to be a reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the upcoming solar eclipse period, which is going to happen on June the 10th, 2021. May was certainly a very transformative month. You're probably still feeling the effects of that lunar eclipse that happened on May the 26th, and now we're heading into a solar eclipse, which will sort of bring all of those energies that came in May. I feel like everything's just going to come online in June. So it could be a time where you need some balance and alignment. So we're going to do the 5-card alignment reading. Let's jump right into it, Gemini. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so first card for you describes the area that needs balance most of all. And what you got was the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles, my Gemini friends, is an energy where you're being guided to look at your everyday tasks, okay? And be mindful of, being very mindful of the day-to-day instead of sort of thinking about the future or the past, to really focus on the now, the right now, and to take care of the tasks of daily life. So to really be mindful and aware of your day-to-day. And this is challenging you. I think that could be, Gemini, an issue of you thinking about the past or the future, but not the present, in a mindful way, consciously acknowledging the day that you live, enjoying the food you eat, taking care of the physical body, being gentle with yourself, getting enough rest, lowering the amount of screen time, really trying to balance your day. That is the guidance you're being given here for what needs to be aligned, is your mindfulness on your day-to-day mindfulness, okay? Now, the process that you're on right now in order to learn about yourself is, we see the 3 of Wands. So I see that you are looking into the future. You are looking into the future, Gemini, and you want to shake it up. You want to start something new. You want to be able to look into the future at something new that's being guided more by your spirituality. Wands are the pathway to the self through the spirit. The wands are able to burn through mental and physical blocks, my friend. My Gemini friends, this energy is very different than pentacles. It's very different than swords, and it's very different than cups. This energy, right now, you're being asked to be mindful about your day so that you can hopefully stop worrying about the future, because that's what we do sometimes, and get excited about the future. Gaze out into that unknown, holding your spiritual wand and looking out at what will be. Okay, getting excited about what might be. So the process you're on right now is about the future, Gemini. Things are transitioning for you for a new path in the future. Now, what's going on with this Knight of Pentacles with respect to what's at the bottom of this Knight of Pentacles? What is the truth behind what needs balance? Well, the truth behind what needs balance, my friends, is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So that really suggests to me that as things are shifting, you may be resisting. So Spirit is asking you to release that, let go, allow change to happen, and see that it's all parts of just the cycle of your life. You wouldn't want to be in the exact same spot you're in now 10 years from now. You would want to see something different in the future, right? Some growth, some evolution, a new path, the beginning of a new cycle, potentially really expressing yourself in a new way. And the Wheel of Fortune is here to help you with that. And that is why you're being guided to look at the day-to-day so that excuse me, you can bring yourself into balance here with this new shift that you're going through. Very interesting. Now, the truth behind this looking out into the future process that you're on, the action that you're being asked to take while you're looking outward at the future and thinking, is to not be afraid to go into the unfamiliar, Gemini. Is to let go of those 8 cups sitting there that are empty and go into the future unafraid. Go into the unknown unafraid. And that is the truth behind this 3 of Wands. This 8 of Cups in this spread is the position of action on this process. So the action that you're being guided to take here with respect to your forecasting on the future is to let go of the fear, release the idea that you have to hang on to these cups, and that the unfamiliar is somehow negative, and that the unfamiliar will somehow bring emotional stress. It doesn't need to be that way, Gemini. It's a very interesting reading so far for you. The action you're being guided to take is to head off into the unknown, but that's challenging you right now. You want some sort of reliability. You want a firm idea of what the future is going to look like. But Spirit's saying sometimes you need to take a leap of faith. Sometimes you need to just allow the wheel of fortune to turn without resisting it, and trusting that any shifts in this cycle are just going to teach you something about your self-judgment card on the bottom. Very interesting. Yeah. Okay, so what is the final guidance here? Temperance. You see Temperance in reverse. So we need to be patient. The guidance here for you is be patient, my friend. Be emotionally in the present while you examine this situation. This is Sagittarius energy, Gemini. So we're tapping again into that wand fire energy. All the cards here for you are suggesting that you're going to make a shift that has something to do with a path that you feel spiritually drawn to. You feel drawn to it through your intuition, through you're inspired. This has to do with something you feel passionate about. So that's not what you're doing now. So what you're doing now may have roots in other areas, but it seems to me that the path that you're looking at taking in the future is very much inspiration led. You're being inspired by something creative, by a passion, something soulful. It could be a new path of spirituality, but it's such a shift that you have some anxiety about it here. It's a big departure for you. This is going to be a big leap. But, the final guidance card for you here is Temperance. It's Archangel Michael here to say everything's going to be fine. I am with you. I am here. All you have to do is ask for my guidance. I am with you. You can keep one foot in the present emotional tide here and still be able to have patience and be temperate and allow for changes to happen, right? Right now the card is in reverse, so that suggests that this is really challenging you, the idea of being patient. So you could be feeling anxious and impatient about the developments that are happening. Maybe you don't think they're happening fast enough. Maybe you've been stuck in this day-to-day that challenges you for too long. So it's like you're feeling at a steam, almost like you're feeling tired of the current, and so you're daydreaming about the future, but you're still sort of resisting it. I think it's because the path to the future is not completely clear to you yet. It's still at 3, and you sort of wish it was further along before you made the change, right? Interesting. Okay, well, let's get some guidance on that for you. What will help with this Knight of Pentacles? What will assist Gemini with this? By looking at where your insecurities are. Yeah, that's one thing that mindfulness will show you, is that if you're paying attention really consciously and mindfully in your day, you will know what your triggers are. You will know what makes you feel insecure. You'll know the things that hurt your heart, the things that make you feel like you don't belong, that you're not secure, and that you're not grounded, right? That is your biggest fear right now. Your biggest fear right now, Gemini, is that if you make this shift, you won't be secure. So by looking at your day-to-day, it's almost a reminder that everything works out okay in the end, right? That adjustments you'll be able to make adjustments as you go. Now let's have a look at this 3 of Wands. What will assist Gemini with that? Enlightenment. Interesting. Very similar cards to the last reading. Well shuffled deck. So when you think about the future, my friends, it's time to adopt an attitude that's different, a different perspective. Thinking of it as, instead of running around on the floor when there's a forest fire and you're on the ground floor of the forest in the smoke and in the flames, imagine that you're the eagle flying in the sky, high, high above, with a very different perspective on the situation. So through that perspective, you can see that the forest fire has an end. You can see it up there in the distance, and that beyond it, everything is lush and full of life. and that you can also see the purpose of that forest fire, and that it will add nutrients to the soil and remove all the things that are no longer serving that forest. When you're on the forest floor, you can't appreciate that. All you can appreciate is the panic and the fear. But when you're that eagle soaring high in the sky, you can see the process for what it is, right? That it has a purpose that you can't see when you're on the ground level. So enlightenment here really suggests that when you're thinking and gazing out into the imaginative future that you have, what is going on in your mind when you're doing that? Are you using an enlightened perspective, or are you using this very insecure fear perspective? It's very interesting. Now, what about this Wheel of Fortune in reverse? How can we get that Wheel of Fortune upright so Gemini's not resisting? Okay, we see two cards pop out for you. Perseverance and bittersweet. Okay, yes, change can be bittersweet, because if you're changing into a new cycle, that means one is closing out. So watch the inner communication. This is a blue card for your correspondence, throat chakra. So we want to be careful how we're talking about this change. Are we talking about it like everything's falling apart, or I've been given a new opportunity? Are we saying I've lost everything, or are we saying I've been redirected? How are you perceiving this? Because it can go one of two ways, very bittersweet. And then we also see perseverance, which is this beautiful card of emotional creativity in the sacral chakra, saying keep going, don't give up. Don't give up, and don't resist this beautiful Wheel of Fortune coming in to shake things up for you, my Geminis. Persevere and shift the perspective. Now, what about this Eight of Cups here? Expansion, yes. Expansion. Eight of Cups energy says, I have to walk away from something in order to discover something new, and that these cups are empty. You have fulfilled the commitment of these cups. This card was in reverse, so that says that understanding that you need to walk away from these cups is challenging you right now on an emotional level. So we see this beautiful blue throat chakra card coming in to say, again, how are you corresponding about this? It's a matter of expansion. You need to make room, my friends. You can't walk this new unfamiliar path with those 8 cups holding on to them. You need to make room for new things and new cups. Cups represent emotion, so new emotional experiences. Okay, something new. You need to expand the idea of this in your mind and in your communication. Because this could be the beginning of something really beautiful for you, Gemini. What about this Temperance in reverse as final guidance for Gemini? Thank you. Perfection. Yeah. Things don't need to be perfect for you to be patient and go with the flow. Things don't need to be this definition of perfect that you hold in your mind. Perfection can be quite a limiting belief, my friend. And it's a red card which speaks to your sense of security, identity, belongingness, your I am statements, it's your belonging, right? And you don't need to be perfect. This goes very, very well with this insecurity card, which suggests that you have insecurities when it comes to perfection. And nothing is perfect and everything is perfect, right? It's a very interesting thing. We are all unique expressions of source. And so as a result, there is no standard definition of perfection because we're all unique. So there can be no standard to measure all of us by. And it's almost like you think there is, my dear Gemini, and it's Spirit's really pushing you through this lunar eclipse to allow that energy to go. You don't need to hang on to these insecurities, this idea of perfection. You can have a more enlightened perspective on the future that's expansive and allows room for things. Perfection doesn't allow room at all for anything. So if we're striving for perfection, we're always going to be disappointed, my friends. Okay, final words of encouragement. Well, that cut was funny. Let's shuffle again. Final words of encouragement for Gemini. On this solar eclipse transformation. Yang. card number 1, very auspicious. Tap into that masculine energy, my friend. It's time to connect the dots that you've drawn with your feminine energy. You've planted seeds all over the ground, and now it's time to go and garden and make rows and make sure that you label what seeds are gonna, what plant is that, what's gonna grow from that row and what's gonna grow from this row. It's almost like it's time to tap into that more masculine energy that comes in to be decisive and to just put the emotions aside for a second and go with will and drive. This is wand energy. Again, you can see the flames here. So you're really being guided to tap into that fiery side of yourself, your soul. You need to, that fire is going to burst those mental and physical blocks. It burns so bright. You're going to burn through those insecurity ideas, these perfection standards, this idea that I can't let go of what I have now to change. You can. Very interesting reading for you, Gemini. Wow. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading, everyone. Lots of love and light.